This is Optimal Finance Daily, episode 2737, How to Avoid Early Retirement Failure by Jillian Johnsrud of JillianJohnsrud.com. And I'm your host and personal finance enthusiast, Diana Merriam. I'm going to keep this intro nice and short, so let's get right to today's post as we optimize your life. How to Avoid Early Retirement Failure by Jillian Johnsrud of JillianJohnsrud.com. While life might be like a box of chocolates, I'd say it's more like a garden box. We each have a specific and finite amount of time and space to grow what matters to us. There's often a work plant, a family one, friends, hobbies, or interests. At any point in time, each plant shares this finite resource of time, energy, and focus. This is an analogy I use a lot with clients who are aiming for financial independence, want to take a mini retirement, or retire early. The trouble with those goals is that the work plant can start to overwhelm the other plants. It can become invasive, crowding out the smaller plants. For most people, work is where we spend 40 to 50 hours a week, so it's naturally a big plant. On the financial independence path, letting that work plant go wild is rewarded. You'll probably earn more, get promoted, and be able to invest more money, especially if your work is meaningful, enjoyable, or you're very competent at it. That work plant becomes a bit like mint. I love mint. It's one of my favorite herbs, but left unchecked, it'll take over my entire herb garden. It will push out or stifle all the other plants. Staring at dirt. The trouble comes when you're well on your way to F.I.R.E. and you're ready to make a change. Maybe it's a year off or retiring altogether. You have this massive work plant, but there hasn't been much space for anything else. The few other plants in there, like friends and family, are rather small plants in comparison. Other plants like hobbies or volunteering haven't had any space for years. If you pluck that giant work plant out, you're gonna have a few small plants and a bunch of empty dirt. But if you think, once that work plant is gone, I can start a bunch of new plants from seed. I'll take up running, declutter my garage, make new friends, find some hobbies, and an exciting volunteer gig. Except if you've ever started plants from seed, you know it's just staring at a big patch of dirt for a long time. It takes a lot of time to start things from scratch. I've probably had 100 conversations with people who retired, stared at that patch of dirt for a few months, and then went out to find a new job. After 10 or 15 years of hustling to become F.I.R.E., they just went back to work. Why? They gave up all that income, significance, and usefulness to stare at an empty garden box. Even if they didn't like their job, at least it was paying them money. This path seems to be the norm, especially in American culture. But because the transition into early retirement is so difficult and more often than not fails, it's not the path I recommend to my coaching clients. What we do instead. While there's a temptation to get to F.I.R.E. as quickly as possible, there's a more productive and successful approach. Number 1, prune it back. I love mint. It's one of my favorites in my herb garden, but it grows so easily and spreads so easily that it can become invasive. So in order to protect my other herbs, I aggressively prune back the mint. It's okay to love your work, but if it's stealing time, energy, and focus from other areas of your life, you're going to have to work hard to keep it in check. A lot of my clients are in the prune it back phase. They're asking to work from home to get back the commute time. They're leaving at 3 each day or going part-time. They're pruning back the work plant in order to give their other plants the space, sun, and soil to grow and thrive. There are other things in life they value, and they are ready to see those things expand and have a bigger role in their life. Number 2, mini retirements. Sometimes it's not possible to prune back a work plant, so it gets removed temporarily. I have clients taking a few months off to a year or 2. They're pulling out that work plant and giving other areas of their life some space. Mini retirements are a great chance to add some new plants as well. Big health goals, declutter goals, travel, adventure, and rest. Mini retirements are like a test run. They allow you to practice your ideal F.I.R.E. lifestyle. It's less daunting to take a few months off than retire for 30 years. So while they might feel a little uncomfortable staring at a bit of dirt, they know it's just a short season to do their best to fill up their garden with new things. When people have let their work plan overwhelm everything, I give them about a 20% chance of staying retired. But the more mini retirements they've taken, the better those odds get. When I meet people who have taken 4 to 5 career breaks over the last 20 years, they're almost guaranteed to be successful and happy in retirement. They've had lots of practice, mastered the learning curve, and usually prioritize those other areas of life. And number 3, seedlings. You might not be able to prune back your work or start a mini retirement today. Often clients come to me about 6 months before their mini retirement will start. In that case, I encourage people to start some seedlings. In the small moments, plant some seeds in little pots on your windowsill. Just like with the test and scale model, find a step you can take in 1 to 4 hours that will help to get a new plant started. Maybe it's researching pottery classes in your area. Maybe it's getting together with an old friend or trying a yoga class at the gym. Once you're able to prune back your work hours or take a mini retirement, you'll have some seedlings to go into the garden box. They won't be a full plant, but with this extra soil and sun and nutrients, they will fill in the empty space a lot faster than starting with seeds. Whatever you do, don't just keep your head down and push through at work, allowing it to overrun your life in order to get to FI faster. Instead, focus on what you want your FI lifestyle to be and slowly start giving that more of your time and energy. That way, retiring early becomes a seamless transition instead of a jarring and dysregulating one. You just listened to the post titled, How to Avoid Early Retirement Failure by Jillian Johnsrud of JillianJohnsrud.com. And I'll be right back with my commentary. For a lot of people, it can be stressful and confusing to manage their finances. Even I used to feel this way when using different finance apps. But then I tried Monarch Money and everything got so much easier. Maybe you're saving for a down payment, a wedding, a dream vacation, your kids' college. I found that Monarch makes it so easy to help you reach your financial goals, whatever they are. I definitely wouldn't be able to allocate my finances or plan as clearly without help from Monarch. In fact, Monarch is the top-rated all-in-one personal finance app. It gives you a comprehensive view of all of your accounts, investments, transactions, and more. Create custom budgets, set goals, and collaborate with your partner. And now get an extended 30-day free trial when you go to monarchmoney.com/OFD. After trying out Monarch for myself, I understand why it's the top-rated personal finance app. And right now, get an extended 30-day free trial when you go to monarchmoney.com/OFD. That's monarchmoney.com/OFD for your extended 30-day free trial. This article reminded me of some recent posts I saw on a F.I.R.E subreddit. Early retirees shared that they were surprised at how hard it's been to fill the hole that not working has left in their lives. So I think Jillian offers some sound advice here. Don't wait to figure it out. If your goal is to retire early because you hate your job, it might be more beneficial to just find a job you like instead. Because ultimately, work and productivity in some capacity is important for our well-being. I like the advice from the pioneers who talk about creating a life that you don't need to retire from. And if that lifestyle includes working less or taking regular mini retirements, you might even find the sweet spot where you're getting the best of both worlds. I've heard that the reward for early retirement for many of us is an existential crisis. When you're handed the keys to the castle and now have full autonomy over your time, and it can truly all be self-directed, this can actually be disorienting. So I like the advice in the article today. Start right now thinking about what you want to retire to, because it's likely more than just sleep. But that should do it for today. Thank you for listening. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you tomorrow where your optimal life awaits.